Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of Toon World Survival. So last we left off, we had rescued Tycho. A lot of you thought that I was going to cannibalize her. No, that's gross. Come on, really? You really think I would do that? A lot of people mentioned that smoothing things out increases the colony wealth more than walls, and you're absolutely correct. Here is the difference. A marble wall is worth $7. A smooth marble wall is worth $25. Yes, right now I am smoothing everything out, but eventually I will probably replace that with properly constructed marble blocks. The advantage of the smooth is it's more beautiful. But at least at present, I don't really have any manpower to go around and build every wall everywhere. So some things we have to decide is bedrooms, right? The larger the space becomes, the harder it is going to be to heat, cool it, etc., etc. Another thing I need to do is, let's go ahead and fix the zone restrictions. So primarily the reason why I am smoothing everything out is for construction skill. Because we can smooth it out now, mine it out later, and then rinse, repeat, etc., etc. Yeah, ideally, I would just like concrete up the farms because it's nice and cheap, so on and so forth. All right, so right now we are mining out this mining area. So for now, this was actually indoors. It's about not to be because we're about to mine out a hole in it. But it was actually indoors. A lot of people were wondering about that. And yes, this marble door does separate us from the outside. It is not doubly insulated. Now, one of the reasons is I want to keep this farm actually cool. And the cheapest way to do it is just to leave these doors open. Yes, however, that will cause invaders to potentially be able to just like waltz right in the back here. So I'm keeping that in mind too. I have not forgotten. Jane's here is ready to warm up a bit. And then I'm going to send him on a collection run. So for now, we'll just have him smooth some stone where it's nice and warm. Agro's going to go back to research, trying to get some solar power panels to offset the grow lights. Hypothermia is negligible enough. So let's go ahead and unrestrict. And on this trip, let's grab silver. If raiders are coming in and we have 800 silver out there, my thinking is that's probably the first item to get stolen. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, another transport crash. Levia. Super immune wimp. Incapable of social, firefighting, caring, and not related to us. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to rescue her. Wimp is a problem. If we ever get raided, they're the first to take a dive. I'm sort of always worried and cautious about wimps as a result. Now, the good news about this little area here, oddly enough, is it is outdoors, but yet it has natural roofing. Because as you all recall, I am not allowed to build roofs, which means we can lose our cabin fever standing around here. So I actually might make that purposefully beautiful. Put in furniture and whatnot to have them hang out, you know, or recreation or something. Speaking of recreation, I only have a horseshoe pin and a chess table, so getting cotton going would be quite helpful, I think. All right, James is on a major break. He is also volatile, I believe. Yeah, so we definitely don't want him to go volatile aping on us here. All right, Stormy is doing the farm stuff. James went to sleep, hopefully not going to give me any problems. Taking a look at all of their radiation buildup. They're all about the same, actually. So they're all going to be available for a a run on something right around the same time. And as you can see here, I have actually starting to get a nice surplus of rice. So the home zone, yeah, perfect. This zone does not allow them to wander off. Now, if we check their needs, outdoor needs met, and outdoor needs not met. Stormy's going to be the hardest to meet outdoor needs because he's our resident researcher. So I suspect that there will be constant needs. So the things I want to do is grab this silver and then start mining out components, because we are going to be very bottlenecked on components if I don't spend some of my... I mean, the way I see it, given the radiation, we're basically spending blood, you know, that gets destroyed from the radiation to gain materials. Pretty grim assessment there, but that might be true. I'm going to go ahead and bury Hans here. So you have minor radiation. I probably shouldn't have had the volatile person look at the rotten corpse, but oh well. And we also grabbed the knife that guy had. And that will allow us to smelt that down for steel once we have a smelter. All right, so there's our solar power panel. I will throw in a first solar power panel now. And at minor, I think we're okay to do this. Oh, some inspired surgery. That's really not all that helpful to me. Zone, ignore roof. There's some steel down here that was just dropped that we'll be able to grab. And now, when it's not very windy, we'll still generate some solar power panels, or solar power. So some tip I received from Rid Echo, which was when the wind cuts, I could flick my thermostats all the way off or down so that the hydroponic basins are not the first to get unpowered and therefore killing the crops. And then also I can use the room as a battery as well by raising the internal heat. That's not a bad call. So I'm going to raise the temperature up to 90 Fahrenheit, which is probably not obtainable with just two heaters. But the idea here is if we ever have to cut the heaters, we have a little bit more wiggle room before the heaters are not going to produce heat for us. All right, so we have a lot of idle people. I think what we need to do is to plan out some bedrooms, right? That sounds pretty reasonable. So I think everyone probably deserves a nice 2x2, or a 5x5 rather. Maybe I'm not going to put it there. Let's see. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of mining. And we'll work on that. And they're happy to be doing the mining. I'm going to move the light over a little bit. Now at this point, our radiation buildup on Stormy and Aggro, they're almost ready to go for a run outside. We also need a research project. Let's see. Psychoid Brewing. That's a quick, cheap one. We're obviously not mining this last bit out because it's not part of the zone. We'll fix that. We are yielding a lot of marble from this mining effort. It's actually kind of surprising. And Stormy here. We are going to want our best miners to do the mining. So it's going to have to be aggro. So aggro, I am going to force you outside. And I think Jane's is, as long as they have a mining over 9, we're good to go. Alright, back to research. Have to check your health. Yeah, this sucks. Becoming hypothermic and irradiated. Is there an overhead? No, there's not even overhead mountain over where I am now. Yeah, this is a very laborious process here. And I think just two and done. It's gonna have to be the process here. Because any longer exposure and we're threatening some radiation damage. That's pretty bad. That added up pretty fast. And Jane's, because he did the construction project out here for the solar, is not really eligible to do anything else for a bit. Okay, keep getting those marble blocks. Here's a raid. They're gonna prepare a while. Sucks to be them. Wow. Where did they enter? Way over here. Alright. So the idea here is to get our marble wall built like this. And we'll put a single vent in. So this might be a good way to study radiation effects, because the raiders are going to get fairly irradiated. We'll have to watch and see, because they spawned on the other side of the world here, and they're preparing a while, and then they're going to have to run all the way over. Oh, no, they're beginning their assault. Taking the cave systems. Smart. Alright, their radiation buildup is now in the moderate. Well, some of them are. I don't really want to go out there at all, but I'll wait for them to come dangerously close to me. Oh, they're going around. Ooh, we got a free hit. Shot off his eye. Alright, James, I'm going to have you step out. Oh, they're already fleeing. Perfect. And these guys are from the Assistants of Oppression. That is such a funny name. So the Assistants of Oppression are a pirate band. There's really no point in trying to appease them, right? Alright, Stormy, you are all set, aka healthy enough to make you run for that silver. So I'm going to use the precious wood I have to make certain doors openable more quickly. Okay, so here's our 800 silver, now locked down. Flooring. Let's go with marble tile. And for now, stick the light in there so we can work a little bit faster. our subterranean base here. What? Why'd you... Oh, probably filth. I was like, why bug him like that? Just seems rude. So the solar power definitely helping to offset some battery life here. Now, if I'm going to have Psychite Tea, I can maybe make that on a crafting spot. I kind of forget. I think it has to be a fireplace, which means we're likely going to need a kitchen stove, electric stove. Okay, this bedroom is about as nice as a bedroom can get. Jane's is probably the most hostile of them all, being volatile, so we're going to give it to him first. I know it seems like the squeaky wheel gets the oil here, but that's exactly what I'm doing. We don't need him to be expressing his volatility. So this bedroom here is decent. Not bad, not bad. Let's see. So this footprint for this bedroom is obviously a 7x7. What I can do is... That will be a footprint for another bedroom. Methinks. Of course, have a lot of this room up here. So let's go ahead and put another one in. There's another 7x7. Actually, you know what? We can even pull this down a bit. Like that. I don't actually want to merge it into my airlock. That seems... No, it wouldn't merge. The door to it would be here. Okay. Go for it, Stormy. Getting that rice. So we are obviously getting more rice than we are consuming. I think even if we were making simple meals, it is about, with simple meals alone, it's about 2.5 basins worth. Because we don't really have any good cooks, what I think I'm going to do is not make meals and like at all. And then when it comes time to do some cooking, we will most certainly make sure that we level up on tea first, so we don't food poison ourselves to such a high degree. Now pretty soon here, I will be able to start growing cotton once I have a nice supply of the other stuff. Aggro, gonna restrict you. Your health is definitely not good enough to go back out there yet. No one's is. Oh, it's a pretty nice bedroom. Alright, working on the next bedroom. Realizing that we are outside of a lamp radius. I don't even think I could bring a light that far without laying down some cable, so I could do that. There, that will allow us to work a little bit faster. Does make it darker over here. But I'm not worried about that yet. I've got to say the yield of marble has been really nice. Wooden door and a vent. We've been getting a lot of marble chunks from everything. I bet the elders are very pissed that we're doing so well. This base looking great. Bedroom's looking great. And hopefully we'll be able to get out of this terrible prison uniform that we've been wearing for all this time. Another consideration for making sure that we're constantly not going out in the radiation is the penalty, which would be sick and in minor pain. It is -10 to be even a little bit irradiated, basically, which is... where are you going? You are going to be restricted. No, actually you're not. Yeah, go grab that club. So I got to remember, Stormy is the only one that really can't construct, or mine rather. Well, he can't really construct either, but which means... Really? You botched digging a hole. That is top-notch. Now, one thing you might notice is there is not so much of a sickly green tint. I tried my absolute best to mitigate some of the tinting that the radiation, or really it's a refactored toxic fallout, would have. So yeah, I've done my best there. I've done all that I can. I do have a mod request out on the Ludion forums for actually properly fixing it, which means creating a mod to remove the overlay effect, but so far no takers. Okay, there's no path there. We'll fix that. Always build corners first. And this can become Aggro's bedroom. Cycloid Brewing, all set. Next up, beer brewing maybe? Smithing? I don't know. We could just go microelectronics. The only issue with microelectronics is pretty expensive, and it'll take a while. And ideally, well, yeah, that's fine. We'll just start working on it. Slept in the heat. I could definitely take these down a bit so we don't have a slept in the heat. Although he's right next to a heater. So that's a little bit different. Don't blame me, man. Alright, these bedrooms are coming together. They're looking nicer and nicer. Aggro, time to move. I'm actually going to choke the bedrooms up, the beds, closer to the door here. And that's so that if we have some sort of breach, I can use them for cover. And of course, I could always add night tables and dressers to make them more comfortable. I think I'm going to wait for my construction skill to be a little bit higher before I do something like that, though. So this is going to be outdoors temporarily while we restructure. And we'll put, not that marble doors are very enduring rather, but we'll put marble doors there. And this, of course, let out all our heat. So we're going to have to fix this soon. Now we're indoors, technically. And expanding area 1. All right, and the airlock. These bedrooms are literally identical other than the bed quality. And I could put a bedroom here, but I think the issue is, yeah, the issue is we wouldn't be able to expand north if we wanted to. So I'm not going to do that. Now that it is later in the season here, it's going to be a little bit harder to heat everything. Let's take a look. We have... we are going to probably allow these guys to make a run for... Uh-oh. James, you're actually pissed that you're... Okay, how about you eat a meal? Entombed Underground. Yeah, he's freaking out. Alright. I want you to eat a meal, and then I'm going to have him go mine some. Yeah, compacted machinery. Okay, you go do compacted machinery. Let's check their... Okay, everyone else has... Aggro is getting the trapped underground too, and he has built up initial, which means he is all set to go do some outdoor stuff as well. Now the compacted machinery I'm getting we should always have a few parts as backup, just in case something fails, but we can use these to add more hydroponic basins in order to keep our food up and then also invest in other crops. So I believe that these two spots here and here are the closest to the base for components. There's probably quite a lot of components locked up in these mountains here, somewhat guarded by bugs. And these bugs, of course, are immune to radiation by design. Okay, so this is all mined out. Actually, it is, other than the hypothermia, we do have a thin roof where aggro is, so he will become hypothermic, but he won't increase radiation, which is good. Alright, James, are you happy that you went outside? Yes, but now you're sick and in minor pain, so it's a trade-off. Yeah, what I really need to do is put my horseshoe pin out here. I think that's probably a good start. Alright, if you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. I don't really have them scheduled on anything, as you can see. It's kind of like a whole lot of anything, and they choose. Okay, you're getting numbing cold. So I'll let you come back. Yeah, I definitely need some tea. But it did just increase my component count a bit, so... And we have a lot of excess power in the grid as well. So we'll go ahead and figure out, how do I normally lay these out? Maybe like that? No, wrong way. Be like this. Obviously, I'm not building all of these. I'm just sort of figuring out what a future layout would look like. And we're going to have to move these batteries. I'm going to have a room for the batteries in the future. That's weird. Okay. We'll have it like this. That way we can put a fire foam popper inside. So that layout will work. That optimizes my grow space. Does not optimize walking around space, but, you know, whatever. Alright, have you start delivering to the basins. we can get them constructed really fast. And hell, let's add 2 more. We know that our current amount of rice basins feeds us. And if we add more people, we can always increase it. So this is going to be Psychoid. We'll be tea drinkers. And Stormy, I'm pretty sure your grow is above your research. So you should be growing. Growing season is here. Growing season is now. Another raid. They are preparing a while and then attacking. They're coming from the south. They are tribals. Checking. They're savage tribes, so they're hard to stay allied, but they might be worth trying to ally anyway. And then, of course, what goes with the tea is we're going to need an electric stove. I'll just put it there so we share the same stool. Build up is a little bit high. But, yeah. The electric stove is on. We're going to flick it off. Where are you going? Oh, yeah. Perfect. So here they get all of their outdoor needs met. But they don't get irradiated. Which, in my mind, is fantastic. Okay, so they're starting their attack. They're going to come the way of my power grid. That will not be acceptable. I am going to use my wind turbine. Oh, my wind turbine's a little damaged. Lift restrictions here. And Stormy... Oh, that's not even home zone. Now I understand. Despite you being the worst shooter of us all, you're going to do the repairs, because you also are a meleeer. And we can actually use the wall and the marble chunks. Stormy is getting hit by... Okay, they're fleeing. Stormy took some pretty good damage here. We don't have a dedicated hospital bed yet. And then additionally, I would not be opposed to making friends with the tribals. But let's take a quick look. There is really no tribal base nearby, but still would not be opposed to it. Capture. Our doctor is unfortunately Stormy, so I'm going to have you self-tend with no meds. But definitely do it inside. I'd like to limit the amount of meds we... Okay, that's a bit of a problem. He's a medical emergency here. Oh, for radiation. Yeah. Who's our second? Aggro. You are our second. Doc. I am going to reinstall this bed there. We didn't even patch you all the way up. Prisoner, reduce resistance. And if we keep them alive, we can also possibly see the effects of radiation. Now, I know what they are, but you all do not. But that's probably all the time I have for this episode. So if you have any tips for me, drop me a line. If you have any questions about this series, let me know. A lot of people complained about the green tint. I did my absolute best to try to get rid of it, so let me know if you think it is resolved. If any of you are mod makers and you know how to remove the tinting from Toxic Fallout, that would be awesome. Drop me a line, and I do hope that you tune in next time. So thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all later. Adios.